For a long time, the pocket change we carry around has been viewed as nothing more than everyday currency, but rare anomalies like this special 1979 Washington quarter prove that significant hidden value can exist inside standard circulation. Many people handle money every day without ever stopping to examine the micro details of the designs, dates, or mint marks, leaving unique manufacturing anomalies completely unnoticed in daily transactions. Collectors around the globe actively search for these specific historic pieces because they represent direct physical documentation of production history, changing how we view standard cash. The coin featured in 41500.jpg demonstrates how slight deviations during the pressing process transform an ordinary legal tender quarter into a highly prized collectible for enthusiasts. By understanding what makes a standard strike different from a mint error, anyone can begin to recognize the hidden history and numismatic value that might be resting quietly inside an ordinary wallet. Every standard quarter produced during this era was meant to feature a perfectly centered alignment, but occasionally a technical variance occurs on the production floor to create something entirely unique. When a blank metal planchet is fed into the coining chamber, it must align perfectly with the upper and lower dies to receive a clean, symmetrical impression of the official design. If the planchet shifts ever so slightly or fails to seat correctly before the massive pressure of the machinery descends, the resulting impression is forced unevenly across the metal surface. In the world of numismatics, this specific phenomenon is known as an off-center strike, a visual shift where a portion of the design is pushed toward the edge, leaving a blank crescent. This specific 1979 Washington quarter displays a distinct shift that pushes the standard alignment out of place, creating a compelling visual narrative that instantly draws the attention of dedicated error collectors. When inspecting the front side of this specific piece, the classic profile of George Washington appears shifted toward the right edge of the metal canvas, leaving an unusually wide, blank margin along the left rim. Because the striking alignment was uneven, the word Liberty is pressed tightly against the upper right border, causing the tops of the letters to stretch toward the outer edge of the coin. Despite this physical displacement, the most critical element for historical identification remains perfectly intact and highly visible near the bottom of the portrait. The date 1979 is fully readable and clear, which is an incredibly vital factor for authentication because many extreme shifting errors completely erase the production year from the surface. Having a clear date alongside a visible mint error allows historians and grading organizations to pinpoint exactly when the machinery experienced this specific technical misalignment. The reverse side of the coin provides equally fascinating evidence of this production shift, as the traditional American eagle design is visibly displaced toward the left border of the coin. The sharp feathers of the left wing are pressed heavily into the outer edge, while the right side of the coin features an expanded blank area where the design elements failed to reach. The classic inscription indicating the United States of America remains bold and legible across the upper arc, showcasing the intense force of the machinery even during an unaligned strike. Every letter and decorative element on this side echoes the exact same physical movement seen on the front, confirming that the blank planchet remained stable but misaligned throughout the entire pressing process. This uniform distortion creates a balanced piece of numismatic history, showing identical directional shifting on both sides of the coin. Understanding the market dynamics of these unique pieces requires looking at documented numismatic history and verified auction records where specialized collections are sold to the highest bidder. In high-profile numismatic events where certified, pristine mint errors are offered to serious enthusiasts, verified sales for highly graded, exceptional off-center specimens have reached an impressive auction price of $11,819. This remarkable figure represents the peak potential of the numismatic market, specifically reflecting what passionate collectors are willing to pay for rare preservation, verified certification, and extreme visual appeal. While everyday circulated examples found in pocket change generally command a more modest premium, these recorded historical milestones show the incredible depth of the coin-collecting hobby. Every unique variance tells a story, and the most exceptional, well-preserved errors can become centerpiece acquisitions that command significant attention at public auctions. The final valuation of any mint error relies heavily on a combination of specific, technical factors, including the exact percentage of the design shift and the overall physical condition of the metal surface. An error that only shifts a tiny fraction might only catch the eye of a casual observer, whereas a substantial shift that preserves the date represents the ideal balance for a serious numismatic portfolio. The piece shown in 41500.jpg displays a noticeable, clear percentage of misalignment that instantly sets it apart from millions of perfectly uniform quarters produced that same year. Additionally, because this piece spent time moving through public circulation, the natural surface wear tells a story of survival, showing how it passed through countless hands before being recognized. Had a unique piece like this been pulled from production early and preserved in a flawless, uncirculated state, its market appeal and technical grade would climb significantly higher. For content creators and numismatic researchers alike, exploring these unique historical artifacts provides an excellent opportunity to educate the public about the intricacies of physical currency manufacturing. Sharing accurate, documented history about how mints operate helps people understand the strict quality controls that govern money production and why occasional escapees are so fascinating. Discussing verified auction records and manufacturing anomalies keeps the conversation grounded in genuine hobbyist culture, fostering a deeper appreciation for the artistry and engineering behind everyday coins. Every country has its own unique minting history, but the United States coin series from the late 20th century remains a favorite area of study due to the massive volume of pieces produced. By focusing on the tangible visual characteristics of the metal itself, enthusiasts can learn how to spot authentic variations using basic observation skills. To properly evaluate a potential discovery found in daily life, collectors always recommend comparing the piece against certified reference guides or consulting with professional numismatic organizations. Authentic mint errors possess very specific physical characteristics, such as natural metal flow lines and consistent edge reading, which are incredibly difficult to replicate outside of an official facility. Examining the weight, diameter, and composition of the coin ensures that the piece is a genuine product of a misaligned coining press rather than the result of post-mint alteration. Many reputable grading services exist to examine these pieces under high magnification, providing an official seal of authenticity that permanently documents the coin's specific error type and condition. Taking the time to study these technical details elevates coin collecting from a simple casual pastime into a rewarding, highly educational pursuit of historical preservation. As you look through your own vintage currency or examine old collections, keeping a close eye out for unusual borders, missing inscriptions, or shifted portraits can turn up surprising discoveries. The 1979 Washington quarter featured in this discussion serves as a perfect example of how history, engineering, and chance can collide to create an enduring piece of physical art. Millions of standard quarters are melted down or lost to time, but the unique survivors that carry manufacturing anomalies continue to fascinate generations of dedicated researchers. Whether a piece is worth a modest premium or represents a legendary design style, the true joy of the hobby lies in the thrill of the hunt and the stories these coins tell. The next time you handle a handful of ordinary pocket change, remember to take a second glance at the edges, because history might be hiding right in plain sight.